hyped, everyone. Nintendo are back. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's getting hyped. Just wow, Nintendo, just woo. Nintendo are back.
No.
No, of course not. Of course Nintendo aren't back. Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold, and today I wanted to talk about the Nintendo Switch, which was had its press conference about 24 hours ago, and I want to go into the reasons why I, unlike so many people, I'm not hyped for the Nintendo Switch, and what I think they are not doing correctly for end users such as myself, even though, you know, I've tried to support Nintendo as much as I can. So many things were announced about the console. I'm not going to go into detail for everything. I'm just going to go into those which stood out to me, and the first one was the price. The price of the console is going to be $299 US. This equates to about 245 Great British pounds. However, unfortunately, as the UK market is the way it is, most retailers are pricing it up and putting it to £280. And the console comes with no game packed in, no software at all to play. For me, I'm a bit mixed with this. I think it's fine as a launch title price for a brand new console, but the problem is that with the current generation, you've got two consoles out already, PS4 and Xbox One, which have been out for 4 years and sell products which are much cheaper than this. I could buy a PlayStation 4 with 2 video games for about £230, so I don't know about pricing your console into the market at $280 where with no games whatsoever to play. What's also off-putting about the console's price is the accessories to go with it. If you want to buy a Pro Controller, and I did for the Wii U, because certain games just, you want a better controller, you want a normal controller for it. If you want to buy a Pro Controller, it's going to cost you about £80. Now, there are the Joy-Cons, the little two switched little controllers which you can, and apparently they feel really good. However, there are certain games which on the Wii U library which you just want to play with a proper controller and look at the screen and not have to worry about gimmicky stuff like motion controls. Games such as Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Bros., games with lots of high input needs, and other games also which aren't dedicated to the console, such as first-person shooters. You want a decent controller for that. And to buy an extra controller for that price is way too much. From what I see, the Pro Controller doesn't really offer anything more than, say, a PlayStation 4 controller does. And it doesn't seem to have, say, the good features of an Xbox Elite controller. So, price is way too high. Also, the games, it looks like they're going to be pricing the games at £60 British. I'm not very happy about that. There's a problem in the current industry where we in the UK have a stronger currency than many other countries like the US, yet are being forced to pay as much as other people in equal amounts. We are paying £60 for video games these days. America's paying $60 for video games these days, even though if $60 is worth about 40 British pounds. It's not something which is a problem unique to Nintendo, but the biggest problem with Nintendo and their video games is that they don't seem to be reducing their price down quite often. If you were to go buy a game such as Super Mario Land or 3D Land right now, it still would be quite expensive to buy that game. It would still be £40 plus, unless retailers have really priced it down. So it's good for the developers because it keeps their prices high, but for end users like myself, when I'm deciding to buy a PS4 game and a Nintendo specific game, I'm probably going to buy a game on a console which I've already established and have a much larger library to and can play with friends on, as opposed to a more unique niche title. And one thing they're trying to push is this idea that this is not just a home console, but it's a portable console at the same time. I think that's cool. I think it's really exciting. I look forward to the day when I can, say, play Pokemon on a big screen or play Phoenix Wright on a big screen. However, I feel like in the current market, this isn't enough to really change people's behavior and usage for gaming. Most people who are playing mobile or play portable consoles are playing on their phones. And the reason why is because most people carry their phone with them all the time. It's really convenient. And Nintendo know this. You've had Mario Run out, Pokemon Go. They know that the mobile market is a big thing. So I just don't see someone like myself who is going to be quite active and quite busy will be carrying around this extra console in order to play specific games on my Nintendo Switch, as well as my phone as well. So for me, that doesn't really appeal to me, but I'm sure there's maybe a market out there who are interested in taking their console on the go. Speaking of which, the screen which you have for playing portable, your touch screen, outputs at 720p. It's good. 720p is good. I like 720p, but it is weaker than some tablets out there, so that might bother some people. When it is docked into its base and you put it through its HDMI out into your TV, it outputs at a maximum of 1080p. That's fine. Again, I don't mind 1080p at all. The only thing which is a bit baffling, or which is a bit worrying, is two things. First of all, you've got Sony, Xbox, and many other companies promoting 4K monitors, 4K TVs, 4K consoles. People are pushing towards 4K, and unlike 3D TVs and virtual reality, I really think 4K is something which most people are going to be starting to accept and strive towards. So having a brand new console right now that's only 1080p, it does worry me about future-proofing a bit in the future, but we'll see how that goes. Also, which is a little bit concerning, is Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild will only output at 900p when it is docked. I'm not sure why that is. Really confused about that. But maybe they didn't want there to be too much of a jarring difference between 720 and 1080p when playing portable versus home. But it doesn't really make me confident to know that one of their launch titles is only going to be outputting at 900p. Maybe because this title is also developed for the Wii U, which only outputs at 720p. So don't know. Maybe it's that. Internal storage. This was a big problem for the Wii U. I had a basic Wii U with only 8GB of internal storage, and that really affected my buying decisions. I couldn't just play certain games because I didn't have the room to install them. This console will have 32GB of internal storage, like the Wii U Pro, which is nice. It's more space than 8GB, but really nothing compared to a PlayStation 4 with its 500GB and a terabyte room console. There are a lot of games out these days, and a lot of games are multiplayer games where you have to update them constantly. It makes me think and worry that you won't see certain games on the console due to space limitations, and you can upgrade this space using SD cards. But I would, if I was a developer and I wanted to put my game onto the Nintendo, I don't necessarily know if I would, if I thought that my consumers had to go out and buy an extra memory card for extra space. Just the way I feel about it is a little bit worrying. I think you won't see certain games on the console because of internal storage limitations. And again, maybe this is because it is a portable portable device as well. But not great. I'm not a fan of that. No voice chat. There will be no voice chat on the Nintendo Switch. I think that's really disappointing. One of the best things right now is communication and being able to just use your consoles like a budget PC. Being able to talk to people online is really useful. It's something I use quite often. And there will be no internal voice chat on the console. Nintendo's plans to address this will be to release a smartphone app which you will have to pay for in order to chat while playing games. Ridiculous. Stupid. Just ridiculous. People can do that through Skype. People can do that through Discord. There's already ways to do that. Why bring out an app which people will have to charge for when they can do it for free already, especially when they can do it for free on their consoles? Not good. Not good at all. Furthermore, they will be charging you to play online now on Nintendo. It's going to be an online paid service which will be free until 2018 summer, but then $5 a month afterwards. You will get a game every month from the Virtual Console store. However, unlike say Xbox Live and PlayStation 4, you're not given an indefinite license as long as your account or your billing subscription is still going. You're licensed only for the month that you're giving it. So that's a really bit downer for me. There are so many games these days, and I don't really play the games that I get through PS4 Plus, although I'm not saying they're not good. I just don't have time to play them. But to be limited to only 1 month to play them would be really off-putting. I would ignore them completely, and I think that takes out the value from paying for an online service each month. Furthermore, the biggest thing that worries me is that Nintendo really have not in my eyes, earned the right or earned my trust in order to be charging for an online service, because they've never done it well. Never ever have they done it well. They didn't do it well on the Wii U. I had bad times trying to play Mario Kart 8 and Smash Brothers online, and they definitely didn't do it well with the Wii. I think having it free until 2018 is a smart idea, so people can try it and see it out. But let's be realistic. PlayStation 4 and Xbox Live, they've got good online services, but they're not as good as the PC. The PC is the best way to play online, and you don't have to pay extra for it. So realistically, I don't really feel like I want to pay an extra $5 for a service which is inherently new and also inferior to things I already have available. So not really sold on that. Now, of course, we're going to go on to the games. I'm not going to talk about every single game which was announced. The ones which I'm focused on are exclusives. The exclusives which they talked about was on March 3rd, there will be Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, again, is not really an exclusive. It's a Nintendo exclusive, but it will be on the Wii U, and I do have a Wii U to play that on, so I might just buy it on that. 28th of April will be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. This is also disappointing. It looks like they're going to take a lot of their recent titles on Wii U and port them to the Switch, which is understandable in a way because they've moved from CDs to cartridges. But at the same time, you know, I only bought these games about a year ago, so I still want to get value out of them. And if I really want to play Mario Kart 8 again, I will play the one that I've already bought as opposed to buying a brand new version. Speaking of brand new versions, Splatoon 2 was announced, which is a little bit kind of worrying because I'm sure Splatoon only came out last year, maybe 2 years ago, I can't really remember. I couldn't play it again because of due to internal storage problems, so I never played the Splatoon 1, but Splatoon getting a sequel is a good idea. I think that's smart. I think Splatoon is a good game. I'm not sold on buying that specifically. And also in the winter, we will get Mario Odyssey. That's going to be a big game for their winter titles. I think that's good. Mario's always a good title. It's always fun to play. It's Mario. It's going to be a good game. In terms of third-party titles, the only third-party exclusive which I really took notice of was Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I really like Xenoblade Chronicles X. I never played Chronicles 1, but Chronicles 2 I'm sure will be fun, and it will be just another JRPG to play, so that's always good. The problem for me though overall is that this doesn't really fit my 5-game rule. I feel my rule is that I need to have at least 5 games to play exclusive to a console before I buy it. That was really easy to do for PlayStation 4, but not necessarily for this console yet. Of course, this is Nintendo, they have a lot of franchises, so in the future there may be more exclusive coming out for them. However, right now, until they are confirmed, I'm not going to just buy it and put my faith in the console and hope something will be announced. Finally, the one thing I want to talk about is third-party support. Third-party support is such a big thing. I think if they are not attracting developers to bring out their big games, which are on other consoles, this console is going to really be hurt. And these games are talking about are games like Final Fantasy 15, FIFA, COD, Assassin's Creed, etc, etc. You know the titles. So far, some support has been announced. I know Xenoverse 2 was announced. I know FIFA was announced. But the thing is the console is weaker than the current generation of consoles of Xbox One and PlayStation 4. So much so that EA have announced that FIFA Switch will be based on their PlayStation 3 version of FIFA 2017 as opposed to the PlayStation 4 Xbox One version. That sucks. That's really sucks. I think that's going to be, I'm not a fan of FIFA, but I think that's going to be a deal breaker for a lot of people. I think most people are going to want to play the better version, so not great at all. Poor Nintendo. And I think it will sell out. I think a lot of people are pre-ordering it. I think a lot of people will buy it, and I think people will enjoy it. But as for someone like myself, it didn't win me over. I would like to hear what other people feel. How did you guys react to all the news? Are you excited for getting a console? Have you pre-ordered one already? If so, let me know why. And if not, and you've been put off of it, let me know why that too. Overall, I would like Nintendo to succeed. I think Nintendo really need to succeed here. They can't flop again like the Wii U, but they really got to understand the market and how their fans work. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, thank you very much for listening to this video, guys, and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below.